How's it going, everybody? The PlayStation Summer Sale is running from now until July 29th, and there's a ton of absolute bangers on sale for up to 90% off. Every day I put together lists of the top games you can get at a deep discount, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's video. Alright, with that out of the way, that's enough yapping from me, so let's get straight into it. For $9, 40% off, Boomerang Fu is a physics party game where you slice and dice friends as a crew of foods, discovering power-ups like explosive boomerangs and telekinesis to stack into combos. Battle in local multiplayer for up to 4 players using 1 stick and 3 buttons, mastering techniques like deflecting attacks and curving throws across over 30 edible world arenas, teaming up against AI or squabbling over the golden boomerang. It's a 78 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 5 hours to 100%, no platinum for this one. For $9, 70% off, Romancing Saga 3 is an RPG classic making its Western debut, where you choose one of 8 unique protagonists to embark on an epic, destiny-shaping adventure shaped by your choices. Experience optimized HD graphics, additional scenarios, and a New Game Plus feature, while navigating a narrative filled with powerful enemies, ancient mysteries, and morally complex decisions that determine the fate of humanity. It's an 83 on game rankings, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 100 hours to platinum. For $10, 50% off, Crossy Road Castle is a multiplayer arcade platformer where you climb castles with the Crossy Road crew, shooting out of cannons and riding rainbows through never-ending levels. Play solo or bring friends in a cross-platform co-op, unlock over 150 characters and customizations with endless silly hats, and test your skills in seasonal challenge events across towers like treehouses, spaceports, and candy castles. It's a 77 on OpenCritic, and I'm not sure about trophy difficulty or time to platinum as it's such a small sample size. For $6, 80% off, The Missing J.J. McField in the Island of Memories follows J.J. as she searches for a dear friend who has suddenly disappeared on the nightmare-ridden Island of Memories. J.J. cannot die on this island, no matter how many times she is brought back from the grips of death, dragging her mangled body deeper into the woods and risking dismemberment and worse in her search for why her friend left. It's a 77 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 10 hours to 100%, no platinum for this one. For $9, 40% off, Vampire Therapist is a narrative comedy where you play as Sam, a reformed gunslinger turned vampire therapist, guiding emotionally damaged vampires from across history through real cognitive behavioral therapy concepts in a moody German goth nightclub. Challenge cognitive distortions, enjoy minigames, and experience a voiced cast including Matthew Mercer and Sarah Grayson in a story exploring self-acceptance and what it means to feel alive. It's a 75 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $9, 50% off, Tiny Terry's Turbo Trip is a short, sweet adventure of self-discovery as Terry uncovers what it means to be an inhabitant of Spranklewater, exploring a tiny open world at any pace you like. Uncover a wholesome story through hilarious interactions with weird Spranklewaterians, collect turbo junk to upgrade Terry's car, catch insects, dig holes, destroy cars, and get rich, all set to a joyful soundtrack from the composer of Wuppo. It's an 83 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $10, 75% off, AI The Somnium Files Nirvana Initiative is a gripping visual novel and investigative thriller where players step into the shoes of special agents aided by AI partners to solve the bizarre half-body serial killings. Explore crime scenes, interrogate suspects, and dive into the surreal Somnium worlds to uncover hidden memories, piece together evidence, and unravel the dark mysteries behind the enigmatic Nirvana Initiative. It's an 86 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 30 hours to platinum. For $7, 65% off, Mutazione is a mutant soap opera where small-town gossip meets the supernatural, following 15-year-old Kai as she travels to Mutazione to care for her ailing grandfather. Uncover hidden secrets, simmering betrayals, and mysterious dreamlike visions of a bird-like figure that haunt her every step, exploring an atmospheric world where relationships and community life are just as compelling as the unfolding mysteries. It's a 76 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 15 hours to 100%, no platinum for this one. For $7, 75% off. The Evil Within bundle includes the full game plus all season pass content, the assignment, the consequence, and the executioner packs, delivering intense, chilling survival horror from Shinji Mikami and Tango Gameworks. Navigate terrifying, highly crafted environments, manage scarce resources, and face relentless threats while uncovering a tension-filled story that perfectly blends action, fear, and psychological dread. It's a 73 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 9 out of 10, and about 50 hours to platinum. For $7, 66% off. Conscript is a grim pixel art survival horror set in 1916 during the Battle of Verdun, where you play a French soldier searching for his brother amid one of history's bloodiest conflicts. Navigate twisted trenches, crumbling forts, and no man's land, scavenging scarce World War I weapons and fending off enemy soldiers while solving complex puzzles and managing strict resources, with multiple endings and unlockable costumes adding replay value. It's a 78 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 9 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $7, 70% off. Romancing Saga 2 is a tactical RPG where players control multiple generations of rulers in the Varanus Empire and lead them against the legendary 7 heroes. Players engage in battles using weapons, martial arts, and magic while mastering battle formations, tempering weapons, and recruiting allies to strengthen their empire, defend key cities, and confront dangerous enemy commanders across diverse regions. It's a 76 on game rankings, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 45 hours to platinum. For $7, 70% off. Young Souls is a side-scrolling RPG beat-em-up where orphaned twins Jen and Tristan discover a hidden cellar portal to a dangerous goblin world while desperately searching for their missing guardian scientist. Play solo or in co-op, fighting through dozens of dungeons and over 20 fearsome bosses across 4 unique biomes, while customizing your combat gear with hundreds of weapons, armor sets, and accessories to save both worlds from destruction. It's a 79 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 5 hours to platinum. For $6, 90% off. Tales of Zestiria is an action JRPG set in a fantasy world torn between 2 nations at war, following Soray, an adventurer destined to become the shepherd and save humanity. Explore vast open fields, ancient ruins, and mystical lands while uncovering a story of friendship, faith, and destiny, using a seamless real-time battle system that switches from exploration to combat instantly, fusing characters together for devastating attacks. It's a 71 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 90 hours to platinum. For $9, 70% off. Steamworld Heist 2 is a turn-based strategy adventure where Captain Leeway and a ragtag crew of steambots must sail the Great Sea to uncover the mystery behind a deadly water crisis corroding bot kind. You'll line up ricochet shots, outmaneuver enemies with clever positioning, and engage in real-time naval combat while steering your submarine through dangerous waters filled with treasures and rival ships. It's an 82 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 35 hours to platinum. For $6, 85% off. World End Syndrome is a visual novel where you move to your uncle's mansion in the seaside town of Mihate, hoping for a new life, only to meet 5 girls and get pulled into strange incidents. Choose where to go each morning, afternoon, and evening to trigger character events and mysteries tied to the urban legend of the Yomobito, romancing one of 5 girls across multiple branching routes and endings that change how your summer unfolds. It's an 80 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 1 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $10, 50% off. Infernax is a brutally challenging, retro-inspired action adventure where a knight returns to a cursed homeland, exploring an open world of castles and monsters. Buy items and unlock skills to customize your playstyle as you storm castles and face epic bosses, with every choice mattering, from slaying or helping characters to how you spend experience points, plus multiple endings and local co-op with your Squire Serval. It's an 82 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $9, 75% off. Still Wakes the Deep is a tense first-person horror game from the Chinese Room, placing you aboard a 1970s North Sea oil rig as a worker struggling to survive a vicious storm in an unimaginable horror. Explore a beautifully realized, evolving rig with no weapons, relying on wits and determination to sneak, climb, swim, and avoid a relentless, terrifying presence in storm-battered, claustrophobic, constantly shifting environments. It's a 76 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $5, 65% off. Strider is a fast-paced action platformer where you play as the elite assassin Hiryu, slicing through enemies with acrobatic precision across an interconnected world of hidden paths and intense boss battles. Master lightning-fast combat, wall-running, and agile maneuvers to uncover secrets and upgrade abilities, taking on relentless waves of enemies in thrilling, side-scrolling stages that test your reflexes and strategy. It's a 77 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $7, 90% off. Wild Hearts is an action-packed hunting game set in a fantasy version of feudal Japan, where you track and battle colossal beasts called kimono, each infused with the raw power of nature. Craft traps and set up hunting grounds using deadly weapons, ancient Karakuri technology, and strategic environmental manipulation, coordinating with allies to take on these fearsome creatures alone or in seamless co-op with friends. It's a 78 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 60 hours to platinum. For $6, 80% off, Civilization VI is a turn-based strategy masterpiece where you build an empire to stand the test of time, exploring new lands, researching technologies, conquering enemies, and competing against history's greatest leaders to create the ultimate civilization. This PlayStation 4 edition includes the latest game updates and 4 major DLC packs, adding new civilizations, leaders, and scenarios to expand your strategic options. It's an 89 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 60 hours to platinum. For $9, 70% off, the Talos Principle 2 is a thought-provoking first-person puzzle adventure that expands on the original's philosophical themes with increasingly mind-bending challenges and morally complex choices. Explore a mysterious megastructure in a world where biological humanity is extinct but its culture lives on through robots, using abilities like gravity manipulation, mind transference, and more to solve clever puzzles. It's an 87 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 30 hours to platinum. For $10, 50% off, A Space for the Unbound is a magical adventure about two sweethearts at the end of their school days and the end of the world, exploring a crumbling town to help friends face their inner demons. Set in rural Indonesia in the late 90s, chat with townsfolk and listen to their stories, dive into people's minds Inception style, pet plenty of cats, and enjoy a relaxing, supernatural-tinged atmosphere set to music by Mastito Ito Bakhtiar. It's an 85 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $10, 60% off, Below is a dark, atmospheric action-adventure where players explore a vast underworld of ever-shifting labyrinths filled with deadly monsters, cunning traps, and a mysterious, shadowy presence. Craft remedies and tools to survive the depths, face brutal hazards and fearsome beasts, and choose between Explore mode for a more accessible journey or Survive mode for the ultimate test of skill, planning, and instincts. It's a 70 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 7 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $5, 65% off, Wings of Bluestar is a story-driven shoot-'em-up where trainee pilot Aya and veteran ace Zarek investigate a resurgent AI threat, confronting their past to uncover the truth of their enemies. Challenge 8 stages of side-scrolling bullet hell mayhem across multiple ships and weapon upgrades, choose between 2 playable pilots with dialogue choices and multiple endings, and unlock artwork, boss rush mode, and more through the in-game shop. It's a 75 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 5 hours to platinum. For $7, 65% off, Astalon Tears of the Earth is an action platformer following 3 adventurers who climb a twisted tower to save their village, bound by a pact with the Titan of Death that turns dying into progress. Switch between a fighter, rogue, and wizard to solve puzzles and battle tough enemies and bosses, uncovering powerful artifacts and unlocking shortcuts across hundreds of interconnected rooms in a beautifully detailed 8-bit inspired world. It's an 84 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. Alright, that's it for today's list, everybody. If you've played any of these already, drop your thoughts in the comments. Your insights help others find great games too, it's not just mine. As always, I want to thank all my channel members for their generous support, but to all you out there who watch, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff as well, thank you. You're the reason I'm still having fun making all these videos every day, and I'm genuinely grateful for each and every one of you out there. If you can spare $1 a month, you get early access to all my videos, and it helps me out more than you know. But I know times are tough out there, so all I do ask is, if you enjoyed the video, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with any new sale stuff that I put out, leave a like, and comment down below if you've got any of these platinums or plan on going for any of them.